Adventurous hikes, pristine retreats, local secrets, Instagrammable spots, and everything in between. These are the top 11 beaches in Portugal. Number 11. Praia de Deus. We start with this little gem that is part of the Algarve region, although the beach itself does not rate very well in terms of accessibility and even cleanliness. The amazing scenery that surrounds it is enough in itself to add this beach to your list. Getting there is rather difficult, as you would have to drive on dirt road for a while, park in the middle of nowhere, walk a good amount of time to even reach the coast, and then take a really steep climb down along a rocky surface. The other interesting thing to mention is that it is a fully nudist beach, therefore the lack of actual footage from the beach itself. So yes, the idea of being on a tiny piece of sand surrounded by rocks and nudists is not an ideal setting for some, us included, as we didn't spend too much time there. But hey, sometimes it is not all about the destination, but rather the journey itself. Number 10. Praia da Carvalho. Another not so easily accessible beach, which boasts some tremendous views and amazing sand and sea feel. You would have to pass the extremely crowded city beaches of Sesimbra and the busy marina, drive on a dirt road, battle for a parking spot that does not threaten your life or that of your car, and then the real fun begins. Another pretty long hike on some rocky steep terrain that is definitely not for the faint at heart. Make sure you bring plenty of water with you, and I would even suggest a picnic basket, as the remoteness of this beach and the heavy hiking will leave you dreaming for that perfect beach bar. For such a secluded place, this beach was extremely crowded. We were shocked by the sheer amount of people carrying all sorts of coolers, umbrellas, and portable chairs, considering that by the time we got to the beach, we had zero clue of how we will get back. Luckily, the local fishermen had thought of that and had set up water taxi service for the likes of us, which take you right back to the marina, from which it was still a bit of a walk to our car, but all in all, who doesn't love a little adventure? Number 9. Praia de Miramar. This wide and open beach is located in the small seaside village of Miramar. It's worth a visit, if only for the tiny chapel perched on top of a rock, known as Capella do Senhor da Pedra. As though floating in the ocean itself and surrounded by the rocky coast, it makes for a phenomenal photograph. While the church itself dates back to 1686, the rock upon which it sits has been a place of worship for more than 2 millennia. In addition to the unique photo op and the dramatic coastline, the beach itself is rather clean and extremely easy to access, as it takes pretty much a few steps to get to from the parking lot. Number 8. Praia de Deus. Another rather unique, totally Instagrammable spot, the Benagil Cave is quite possibly one of the most popular sites of the Algarve, thanks to, well, you guessed it, Instagram. There are a ton of ways to access the beach, all of which are not so easy or obvious. You may choose to take a boat, sea cave tour, which is what we decided on. For one, you would be able to enjoy the signature coastline of the southern Portuguese Riviera, but also take in the beauty of many other sea caves and a glimpse of Benagil from the comfort of your own boat. On the downside, you will not be allowed to step foot on this tranquil piece of sandy paradise. There is another beach close to Benagil, from which the experienced swimmer could attempt the journey, although according to our captains, that is neither recommended nor allowed. Currents or over-tourism, whatever the case may be, it sounds like a risky endeavor. You can also choose to hike to the hole itself and look at it from above. Number 7. Praia de Deus. This beach is located right next to Ericeira, a laid-back fishing village that has long been a mecca for surfers. The cafes and beach restaurants are reminiscent of that cool Cali vibe, minus the crowds and parking fiascos. The parking is easily accessible and huge, for European standards, that is. The beach has a variety of surf lessons and shops, It is rather crowded and not that scenic if we exclude the rocky side, but it definitely makes for a nice swim. And as it comes to beach bites, it has a very cool beach restaurant with very slow service, but a rather relaxing atmosphere from which you can enjoy the colors of the sky, bathe the ocean in pink. Number 6. Praia de Portinho da Arabida. This beach is truly a hidden gem and is located in what could be described as one of the most beautiful and virgin terrains of Portugal, Parque Natural da Arabida. Just the drive there will leave you breathless. We came at a time when the actual road to the beach was closed off and we had to walk down a steep street to it, but apparently there is a shuttle for those in need. Right next to the beach is a wonderful, family-owned restaurant that serves super fresh sardines in a simple setting. A very enjoyable place with phenomenal scenery. Number 5. Praia de Villanova de Mil Fontes. This little beach is located on the western side of the Portuguese coastline, and what makes it unique is the fact that it is in the point at which the Mirror River flows into the ocean, making the water really cool and refreshing and more lake-like rather than violent and wavy. We had a fun kayaking experience by reaching the ocean side and navigating the many different currents, and of course finding your own little piece of sand to call your private beach. Number 4. Praia Dourada. This beach was such a pleasant surprise on our last day in the Algarve region, to the point where we were considering rebooking our flight rather than leaving this blissful environment. Think live reggae music, colorful hammocks, relaxing daybeds, and the most creative rum cocktails I have ever encountered. Add some incredible fish tacos to the mix, and you have yourself a perfect beach scenario. Number 3. Praia da Cunha. Discovering this area of Portugal was truly the biggest treat of our trip. Just south of Lisboa, on the tip of the Troia Peninsula and amidst the Sado Estuary Park, lies a 25-kilometer stretch of sand that is very reminiscent of the long, wide, unobstructed beaches of the Hamptons. Seagrass, grey wooden pathways, and just 1 or 2 restaurants as to not take away from the natural beauty. Comporta was our first taste of true beach idealia and exclusivity. As word has it, this secret spot attracts only A-listers who enjoy this seclusion so much that many of them have bought vacation properties in the area. We finished our beach day with a wonderful meal of a traditional Portuguese seafood stew that is simply so heartwarming, especially when that Atlantic breeze gets cooler in the afternoons. And naturally, what is a successful sunset without some sangria? Number 2. Praia da Carvalho. And just when we thought we had truly discovered a beach paradise in Comporta, our friendly hotelier was kind enough to tell us of 2 even more secluded beaches that weren't even on the map. The first one was Praia da Carvalho, which was 1 notch above Comporta in seclusion and beach bites. The long boardwalks just make the beach perfection that is about to reveal itself that much more exciting. The sand feels like stepping on clouds, and the turquoise water promises a much-awaited refreshment. This beach is remote in more ways than one, and it is truly a place to retreat and disconnect from the outside world. Ideal for those long romantic beach walks or runs, whatever tickles your fancy. Number 1. Praia do Pego. And finally, it is time to reveal the one. Praia do Pego ticked all the boxes by being easily accessible with a beautiful beach-style parking lot, a scenic walkway that was building up your anticipation, pristine sands, and refreshing sea. Spotless, private, and magical, all at the same time. It has that ultimate deserted island feel to it, especially if you decide to explore the interesting display of objects that looks something like a beach garage sale. out of a post-apocalyptic world, in a good way. Nevertheless, a mesmerizing setting for a beach photo session. Even though there is one terrific beach restaurant with cool nautical decor in the center of the beach, we think it is the perfect spot to bring yourself a bottle of wine, some fresh fruit, and even turn up your music and dance, run, jump, or chill as you please, as you are practically sharing this unspoiled beach beauty only with the seagulls.